Hi, I'm Larry Puckett, the DCC guy. Now in my last video, I said that I had some things that I wanted to share with you before we started building on the new modules for the new Piedmont Southern. And so that's what we're going to take a look at today. And these are various items of various products. Some of them are brand new products. One of them has not even been released yet. I managed to get a hold of some pre-production samples just to share with you. And these should be available in a few weeks. So what I'm going to be doing today then is really just showing you what they are, how they work, what they do, what their functions are, that kind of thing. And then when we get around to the Piedmont Southern and wiring it and installing turnouts and things like that, and you'll see what I mean here in a moment, then we'll get into the actual installations of these products. So let's go ahead. I'll pop these out of their package and we'll take a look at them. Hit that little red subscribe button, and when the little bell comes up, click on it and click all. Okay, the first device I want to share with you is called the AE Models Switchmaster, and it is sold by DCC Concepts in the UK and their various vendors over there. Here in the US, you can get this at Iron Planet Hobbies, or you will be able to get this. This particular unit that I have here is a pre-production sample, and these are not available yet. They should be available within the next 2 to 4 weeks. As the name implies, Switchmaster, they are designed to allow you to control switches, turnouts, okay, if you will, and the points on your turnouts as well as some other functions. And this is a solenoid. It's a Pico solenoid. In the US, you can still get these Pico solenoids. You can also get the Atlas type solenoids that are made for N-scale and HO scale track. So they would work with this. I don't think that the Kato and Bachmann switch machines that come as part of the Unitrack and EasyTrack systems will work with this, but I'm not 100% sure. I've never had time to get into the details of how those actually function, and I know that they provide their own control mechanisms for them. So one place where you could probably find out an answer to that if you're interested is wiring4dcc.com, and that's Alan Gartner's website, and that's wiring for DCC. Okay, now how does this work? Okay, so it's got a lot of different controls on it. And first of all, it's powered by either AC, DC, or DCC power, and you can plug it in right here. It's got a little screw terminal and a European type plug, and you just plug that in and it provides power to the board. And once I turn the power on, you will see that it lights up green, and if I throw the switch, it's going to light up red on this side. And it has 2 sets of terminals, 4 LEDs. And you get a red and a green LED located on opposite sides here associated with these 2 board-mounted ones that you could use on a control panel to show the direction that a turnout is thrown. So we can throw that back and forth. And of course they do provide the terminals for using a standard single-pole double-throw toggle switch to control this mechanism. Now, what else is available? Well, as I said, they've got this solenoid here. And these solenoids are designed to be used specifically with Pico switches or turnouts like the Unifrog here. And if you've ever noticed, there are 4 slots cut into these ties here. And that's so that it can be, this solenoid can be mounted using these 4 prongs right up through here. Oops, sorry, crossways like this. It takes quite a while to get these lined up and installed, so I'm not going to try that on camera right now. But at any rate, this little throw bar goes up through the throw rod here on your set of points so that you can throw them. If you watch, you will see that when I throw the switch here, the little throw rod is moving from left to right. And that's how it would control the direction of your points on your turnout. And you can see that we're getting a good green. There's also, this red is kind of dim, but I can tell you, you can see it did come on. There. So you've got power connections, you've got a connection for a toggle to control it, you have either a red or a green or any other colors you choose to use for different LEDs to put on your control panel, and then the control for the points themselves using the solenoid here. And as I said, you can use either the Pico or you could use the Atlas or any other type of solenoid switch machine. I don't know if the Bachmann and the Kato units will actually work with this mechanism. I don't know how those work, to be honest with you. Okay, there's something else here that you can do. You'll notice I've got 3 wires right here going off to the side, a red, a black, and a green. This allows you to connect the red and the black wires to the 2 wires of your DCC power bus and then run the green wire out to the frog so that you can control the polarity or phase of the frog so that you won't get any shorts and your locomotives will not stall on a dead frog. That's not all. There's one more thing here. Over here on this side, there's another set of 3 contacts, and those are used for signals. Okay, so right here you can see it showing green, and the green light for the panel is illuminated here. Now watch what happens when I flip the switch. This goes to red. I know it probably looks yellow to you, but that's simply because of the way the camera records LEDs. But you can see it did switch. It does have the red showing here, and this red is illuminated as well. So you can throw your points on your switches, and you'll have panel light indicators and signals on your layout to go along with it, as well as providing the correct polarity or phase of power to your frogs. So this is one of those magical all-in-one type of devices that can do so many things for you. Now you'll notice here, the way this is set up, I want to show you particularly how the signal light is powered, because that's a little different. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit for that. Let's see here. Okay. So basically for this, you have to have a power source to illuminate the LEDs in the signal itself. And for that, I just used a standard 9-volt battery. You could use any other power supply that could plug into a wall or whatever. I asked the folks at DCC Concepts, and they did say that these switches internally are electrically isolated, so you don't have to be concerned about that. So right now then, I'm using a 9-volt supply, and you can see it illuminates it quite nicely. And then when I throw it, it's changing over, okay? And that is simply hooked into the line going to the common for the signal itself. And you'll notice I've got a 1,000 ohm resistor on this. On the back of the package from AE Model, they show you all of the wiring for all of these different devices that I've shown you here. It also says to use AC, DC, or DCC 50 to 20 volt power supply for the board, and they also point out in here to add DC power for your signals. So that's what that means. Let's go ahead and move on. If you have any questions for me about how this works, please add them to the comments and we'll get to it there. Now, by the way, the Switchmaster sells for £12.95. Now that translates to $16.36 for an individual one of these. I'm sure that Iron Planet Hobbies would be selling these for probably a little bit less than $16 once they apply their discount to it. So you might want to check with them. It will, like I say, it will be several weeks before these are available in stock in the US. This is another AE Models product. Now this one here is called a Frog Power Control, and it duplicates the functionality of a frog juicer that you're familiar with, I'm sure. And it has 3 screw contacts on here, one for the frog and the other 2 that go to your DCC power bus. And then all you have to do is get this thing wired up properly, and then when your locomotives go through the frog will be of the correct polarity and it will be powered. So you won't have any stalling locomotives on your unpowered frogs. And you won't have any short circuits if you get it wired right. So if you try to put a locomotive through here after you install it and it shorts out, then you probably just need to reverse the 2 wires to your DCC power bus. It's that straightforward and simple. Like other of the AE model products, these are available in the UK from DCC Concepts and their various dealers. And in the US, we're looking at IronPlanetHobbies.com, as well as Kingston Locomotive Works in Canada. So hopefully they'll have these in stock soon if they don't have them already. Now these are available in packages of 1, 3, and 6. So this is a 6-pack here. And an individual one of these sells for £7.95. And that's going to work out to about $10 here in the US. However, once Iron Planet Hobbies has these available on their website, I'm sure you'll be able to get them for less than that. So take a look at Iron Planet Hobbies, get them on your wish list. So I will be using these to power the frogs on my turnouts on the new Piedmont Southern modules. So we'll get around to installing these in a few months. Next, I have a couple of different products from DCC Concepts, one of them that you've already seen, and these are the little adhesive pads that go on the bottom of their IP Digital and other types of Cobalt switch machines, and you peel this off and it reveals an adhesive surface in here, and then you can just stick these in place, and that will hold them long enough for you to install the 4 screws that you would put into the bottom of your layout when you mount your switch machines. So that's what those are for. When I disassembled the Piedmont Southern, I saved all of my switch machines. So I have a lot of tortoise switch machines, and I have a lot of the IP Digitals. So I'll be using the IP Digital switch machines again on all of the new Piedmont Southern Alexander modules. So we'll see those in place. And fortunately, the folks at DCC Concepts sell packages of these, and you can get, they come 12 in a package. So if you have to reinstall a switch machine, you can scrape off the old foam, put on the new foam mount, and you're ready to go. Another thing that I was just blown away with when I first saw it is this little guy right here. And you'll take a look at this. And basically what it is, this right here is an image that is printed on the surface so that it looks like ballast, okay? And then there's a slot right here that you can poke out and open it up. And that allows the throw bar coming up through the bottom of the layout to lock in to your points right here on your turnout. So basically then it provides a slot that the wire coming up from your switch machine can pass through and then go up into the throw rod or throw bar, whichever you want to call it, here on your set of points for the switch for the turnout itself. So why is that great? Well, one of the real problems when you're installing turnouts with switch machines, be they the IP Digitals or if they are a tortoise or any other kind, you have to drill a hole through the top of the layout and down through your road bed. Well, once you're done, it leaves a gaping hole there that your ballast can fall through and creates a mess under the layout, and it just looks very unprototypical there on the top of the layout. What this allows you to do then is you can peel off a section on each side that is coated with adhesive, and then attach that to the underside. I'm going to put it on this way, to the underside of your turnout. I'm going to center my point so I get it correct and slide that right into place. Okay, so it's going to stick to the bottom of the turnout below the points. The area underneath the points themselves is not adhesive, so it can still move freely. However, it's going to stick to these other ties on each side of your set of points. And then, when you apply your ballast, it's not going to fall down through the top of the layout. It is a great idea. So, I can't wait to be using these on the new layout, because I'm going to be, this is a problem that I have dealt with for years on layouts, and it is such a great nifty solution that it's very inexpensive. Now, what do these cost? Well, these are called tie bar labels because they sit underneath of the tie bar and they fit on like a label. And you can get these packages. There's 12 in a package. They sell for £5.95, and that works out to $6.90 in U.S. currency. As I said before, once these are available at Iron Planet Hobbies, I'm sure you'll see them for less than $6.90. Now, in these over here, the foam pads for mounting, those sell for £11.95. £11.95, and that works out to $13.86. Now let me point out one other thing. I will list all of these different part numbers for all of the devices that I'm showing you today, as well as the UK price, and then you can look up the price conversion if you're interested, or you can just wait and see what Iron Planet Hobbies is going to actually charge for these. Okay, so that's how those work. So let me go ahead and we'll move on to another one of these nifty little devices. How often have you installed a turnout on your layout and gone to install the point motors or the switch machine underneath and found out that for some reason there was something in the way and you needed to move it over, or you needed to mount it horizontally instead of vertically? Well, DCC Concepts makes what they call their 90-degree adapters. So instead of mounting the switch machine vertically like this, they allow you to mount it horizontally, and then when the throw rod moves, it moves this lever here, which goes up through the bottom of the layout and connects through your throw bar on your set of points and controls it that way. I could have used this in a lot of cases on the Piedmont Southern where I had to rig up my own versions of these, but these are going to be very useful, I think, for some of the locations on the new Piedmont Southern modules where I've got cross members that are going to be very, very close to the turnout points on those modules. And so I'm pretty sure we'll be installing some of these under the layout to control some of the turnouts there that are going to be very close to those cross members, as I said. Now, as you can see, these are very well made. They're very sturdy. They bolt onto the bottom of the Cobalt type switch machines. And then they also provide mounting slots here where you can attach these underneath of the layout without any problems at all. Pretty nifty little design. So these come in a 3-pack for $12.95, which translates to $13.23 in U.S. currency as of today. And as I said, I'll put all this information into the description for this video. In a video a couple of months ago, a month or so ago, I showed you these axle reamers. And at the time, the axle reamer that I had gotten was the double O version as well as the very wide HO version. So what they did, DCC Concepts sent me one of the standard HO versions of these, and so that is set up for 24.25 to 25.25 millimeter axles. So that's going to allow you to remount the axles on most of your US-made models so that you'll get a very free-rolling car. Now, the other thing here, this is the in-scale version of that. So for those of you that are into in-scale, they didn't forget you. Here they are. Let me see if I can get them out without dropping them and having them roll all over the place. Here we go. There it is. Fell out. So then you can just insert this little bugger into the axle bearings on your trucks, on your rolling stock. Give them a few twirls, and it will remount those bearing slots and give you a very free-rolling wheel set. Let me get these in here before I lose it. One of the reasons that I wanted to get the standard HO version of this is that in a future video, I'm going to be doing one on getting a rolling stock ready for operation on a model railroad. And one of the things that I do want to cover is using these axle reamers to really give you free rolling wheels on your rolling stock when you get them ready for operation. These little guys sell for £12.95, so that works out to $16.36. But again, check the Iron Planet Hobbies website to see what their price is for these, because they probably have these in stock already, because these are a product that DCC Concepts has had for a while. Okay, so that pretty well wraps it up today. There's a lot of things that I've covered here, and hopefully there's something in here that you'll find useful. I know I'm going to find a number of these things useful on the new Piedmont Southern when we get around to building those new modules and wiring them up and getting everything ready to run sometime after the first of the year when I want to start that project. And in the meantime, though, have a great holiday season. Enjoy yourself, but be safe doing it. And we'll see you here after the beginning of the year for the start of work on the modules themselves. Bye now.